Well, global tensions and diplomacy are all set to collide in the Swiss Alps. US President Donald Trump will be at the World Economic Forum in Davos, leading the largest ever American delegation. What's more? Well, a historic church has been converted into the US House to host Team Trump, and NDTV's top editors are in Davos to cover this big global event. Here is NDTV's Profit Managing Editor, Tamanna Inamdar's report.
A spirit of dialogue, that's the theme for this year's edition of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. And the man leading this spirit of dialogue will be the US President Donald Trump. Trump is leading the US delegation, its size unprecedented for this global forum. With cabinet secretaries, senior officials and key advisors in tow, Washington's presence is being felt across the snowy streets of Davos. An old 19th century church on Davos's main promenade has been transformed into the USA House for the week, a venue where Trump officials will meet business leaders, host events and bilateral talks amid the forum.
The USA House is probably going to be the center of attention for the next few days, with the visit of President Donald Trump possibly going to be the highlight of the entire WEF event this year in Davos. Now, the USA House has been built in a church. This is the old English church, and it's quite interesting that this is where the USA House will sit. Looking at what is happening in geopolitics right now, and especially in Europe, the presence of the USA House becomes that much more interesting.
But beneath the hubbub of summit activities lies a deepening geopolitical dispute. On the eve of the forum, the US president ignited controversy with a bold trade move, threatening tariffs on several European allies over their refusal to agree to US demands on Greenland. In a social media statement, Trump announced that beginning February 1st, a 10% tariff will be applied to imports from 8 European nations, including Denmark, France, Germany and UK, and others unless a deal is reached for what he calls the complete purchase of Greenland. The tariffs could rise to 25% by June if talks stall. The response in Europe was swift. Leaders have condemned the tariff threat as an economic coercion, warning that it could undermine transatlantic partnership and NATO unity. Across Copenhagen and beyond, hands-off Greenland protests have drawn thousands, calling for the island's independence and opposing US pressure. As leaders gather in Davos under the banner of dialogue and cooperation, these tariff threats and territorial tensions cast a long shadow over global trade talks and security discussions. More than ever, all eyes are on Davos to see whether diplomacy can bridge these divides. With Tamanna Inamdar in Davos, NDTV Bureau Report.